Hello, this is the last video for today that I'm going to be doing, and this one is actually talking to your parents about what to do if your child's being bullied at your school, at their school, as well as including the laws or some of the laws, or as best information I can give you anyway about the law. So, in all 50 states now, there is a law, there is a legislation, excuse me, I have my tongue twisted with that word, to reduce and eliminate bullying. It is an anti-bullying law. This is in all 50 states. However, they do vary from state to state and from school to school. So you do have to find out about your state laws as well as your school laws. If you relocate, if you move, if you hear something on TV or the news, you got to see what your state is, what your state says, what your school says, because even the schools are not the same within the state. That's another thing. So there is a standard rule set in place across the board, and that standard rule is simply that if there is suspected bullying, suspected, they don't have to know for sure. The child didn't have to come to them and complain. The parent didn't have to come and put something in writing, but it was suspected by the teacher and some other students, people talking, or how this child is acting. It was suspected. If it's suspected, it's across the board that schools and teachers are supposed to investigate. They're supposed to investigate. And if they find out that it was, they're supposed to report it. They're supposed to take action to stop the bullying immediately. That is the standard rule of all schools of every state. And then there's all kind of other laws and rules attached to that that varies. So now, let's see here. Other things you might want to ask for is check out the code of conducts for that school. Check out the student handbooks and see what they say about bullying. Okay? All right, let's see here. Now, the federal law, however, I mean, it's good that it's in place. However, the federal law really is just additional protection for certain students. And it's really for students with disabilities, learning disabilities, or they have, what do you call them? IEPs or 504 plans, which is specific plans, learning plans of action for students that need accommodations with their academics for success in school. So the federal gives an extra layer of protection for those students. Okay, that's what that's about, the federal law when it comes to bullying. Any type of discrimination, a student with any type of disability. It could be a learning disability, it can be autism, it could be speech, it could be attention deficit, a physical disability. So those are the things that the federal also adds an extra layer of protection for bullying. Okay, so did you know that if you reported bullying and the school, the teachers, the principal, the district did nothing, they did nothing to help you or to resolve it, and your child committed suicide as a direct related incident to the school, and you're able to prove that, you're able to hold that school and the district liable. You're able to hold them liable. You get a lawyer. Get a lawyer who specializes in student education. You file a grievance with the school district. You contact the U.S. Department of Education for Civil Rights and the U.S. Department of Justice. That is where you start. That's your layer. That's your groundwork. And you go from there. You go from there. Let's see. Did you know that most states have a sexting law? A sexting law, which is considered a misdemeanor Children ages 13 through 17 can be charged a misdemeanor under the sexting law, which also now I believe is considered also cyberbullying, because let me talk about the law first. So this Senate Bill 818 from August 2008 is the same bill that has always covered stalking and harassment. So what they're saying is that if you're sexting the young people, harassing them, this, that, and the other, it's the same. They're treating it as porn, as child porn. So this is where the sexting law comes in, and it's now a misdemeanor. And from that, they can sometimes prove that there is cyberbullying going on, which is also falling under this law. Okay, that's harassment and stalking. The other thing you need to know is that some schools define bullying and teasing in ways that you as a parent might not agree. So you need to find out. You need to get their handbooks. You need to have this conversation. And if you don't agree, as a parent, you are allowed to disagree. You're allowed to challenge it. So you need to sit down and make sure bullying is bullying, and bullying is not considered teasing, and your child is being bullied to death. Okay, so parents, what do you do if your child is being bullied? First of all, you document it. You get the facts and dates. Get you a notebook and you write down every time you find something out. Everything that you hear, you date these things. Now make sure while you're doing this, you're also taking care of your child. And make sure you know what your child can and cannot handle. Don't be documenting all this stuff and going through all these phases and things that you need to do while your child is still suffering. If you got to take your child out while you're investigating and doing all this stuff, then do it. Your child's life is more important than anything. So you want to document and get your facts. Then you want to investigate. You want to investigate, check your law. Like I said, check the law, check the school laws, all these different things. You find out who saw what, who knows what. Complain to the school in writing. Complain to the school in writing and keep a copy. Keep a copy. You want to contact the teacher. You want to contact the principal. If neither one of them gets back to you, if they do, and then they still don't handle the situation, the problem is still going on, then you go to the superintendent. If it still does not get taken care of, that's when you go to the steps I spoke to a few minutes ago. Get a lawyer. Go through all the steps I spoke about a few minutes ago. Document also the impact that this is having on your child. What do you see that's different? Is your child complaining of being afraid to go to school? Do you notice your child always trying to find a reason not to be in school? Are they suddenly having anxiety, depression? Are they isolating themselves? What's going on? Are they withdrawn now? Are they a different person? Do you see something different going on with your child? Document this. Document it, document it, document it. So before I close this out, I just want to share a few statistics. Well, let me also say what schools are doing to help. Let me share that little piece. So there's a thing called PBIS, Positive Behavior Interventions and Supports. Schools are actually trying to teach children how to behave. What is positive behavior, proper behavior towards other people, especially in the school setting. They are disciplining students. Students that are doing the bullying are being disciplined. But don't forget, you, the parent, once you prove things and document things, you can take it into your own hands and get the law involved. Schools are offering counseling. They're offering counseling to the bully as well as the one that was being bullied. They're having more adult supervision in common areas like the hallways, like the cafeterias, those places, recess, where there's usually not a lot of teachers and stuff. They're trying to have more adult supervision. Staff training on bullying and bullying behavior. There's formulated instructions for students. It goes back to what I was saying a while ago of expected behavior. They also must investigate, like I said, if they suspect it. When they investigate it, some of the things they look for is, declining in their grades, emotional outbursts, their behavior overall, skipping services, skipping classes, not being in school as often, constant absenteeism, avoiding extracurricular activities, things that they used to love before. They don't love them anymore. They used to be happy, outgoing, joyful, and you don't see that anymore. So that's another piece that teachers are doing. So some statistics I want to share with you real quickly before I close out, on bullying and things that go on in the school. Sixth grade is supposed to be the worst year of bullying, is what I had read in my statistics. 90% of the bullying happens between grades 4 and 8. 1 in 10 drop out of school due to bullying. 67% of students say that schools and teachers and principals respond poorly to being bullied. 67% say that. Every 7 seconds, someone is being bullied. 43% of students say they experience cyberbullying. Half of all students have been bullied. Approximately 13 million students a year are bullied. 85% have received no intervention. 70% of students have witnessed bullying. Most bullying occurs in, I said this earlier, bathrooms, cafeteria, playgrounds, hallways, bus stops, on the bus, walking to school, and social media, of course. 2/3 or 75% of school shootings are from students that were bullied. Wow, sad to say. So, but on a good note, 5.5 million youth around the world are making positive change towards bullying to try to turn this around. 5.5 million. So, in one survey that I read by the, actually it was a story out of the Omaha World Herald of September 2nd, 2016 by Janice Gilmore, something striking caught my attention. It said that 1 in 4 teachers saw nothing wrong with bullying, and only 4% of them intervened when a child was being bullied. So again, 85% of the time, there's no intervention. 74.1% of the LGBT have experienced verbal bullying, 36.2% physical bullying, 49% of them cyberbullying. So 55% of them, the LGBT, are afraid to go to school, are afraid while they're in school. So 19% students with learning disabilities are bullied. 35% of students with emotional disorders are bullied. 33.9% with autism. And 64% of students who are bullied do not report it. I hope this helps somebody. And until the next time, I believe this may end my bullying segment. I think this was four videos. There may be one more. I'm not sure. But have a blessed day, and I hope this helps somebody. Please give me some feedback and share this information with anyone that needs it. Thank you. Bye-bye.